German media agree on Florian Wirtz top form as Liverpool ace reaches World Cup. Former Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp was in attendance as Germany romped to a 6-0 win over Slovakia to book its place at the World Cup without the need for a playoff, with Florian Wirtz assisting twice. The Liverpool playmaker was a strong performer in Leipzig, with Germany needing to avoid defeat to progress as group winners. Julian Nagelsmann said before the game that nerves were only natural for such an important fixture, but he needn't have worried. Nick Woltmade opened the scoring on 18 minutes, with Serge Gnabry doubling the lead shortly after. Wirtz set up Leroy Sane twice before halftime, with Germany going in 4-0 up at the break. Rydal Baku and then the 19-year-old wonderkid Asinawa Drogo added goals 5 and 6, with Germany cruising to a win. That should do Wirtz's confidence no harm as he returns to Liverpool ahead of the weekend visit of Nottingham Forest. In its player ratings, Eurosport said Wirtz seemed a bit hesitant in some situations at the start. However, he'd then set up both of Sane's goals with great vision. The Liverpool man was awarded a 2.0 rating, with the German system going from 1.0, best, to 6.0, worst. Only the technically superb Sane was given a higher number, with Wirtz's top form praised. Elsewhere, Kicker noted that Wirtz first sent Sane through beautifully from his own half, who finished clinically. Then, he skillfully won the ball back on the left wing and subsequently set up Sane for his second goal to make it 4-0. Most of its analysis centered around the return to form of Sane, but it also noted that Nagelsmann said his team worked like a dog and was thoroughly deserving of such an emphatic victory. Sport added that he was brimming with enthusiasm and a creative force in the German attack. And German magazine WEB.de had a slightly harsher take on Wirtz. The super talent fails to score for the fourth consecutive match, it said. However, he does provide 2 assists. We knew that if we played close to our top level, we would win, Joshua Kimmich said. The coach prepared us superbly, set us up perfectly, and gave us some really good words. It was a very, very strong game. Everyone wanted to make a statement today, everyone knew exactly what was at stake. If we play like we did today, we're a very good team, centre-back Nico Schlotterbeck added. When the guys who are still good for us, the ones who are injured, come back, then I think we'll have a very good World Cup. The first step has been taken, and at the World Cup, the next steps will follow. If we play like we did today, it doesn't matter whether we play the 46th ranked team in the world or the number 1. Then we can beat any opponent. We're still Germany. Arne Slot told Unplayable Florian Wirtz was back to his best in Germany thrashing. Florian Wirtz was praised for his performance after shining in Germany's thumping 6-0 victory over Slovakia in a World Cup qualifier. Germany and Slovakia both went into Monday's game with a chance of securing automatic qualification for next summer's tournament in North America. The two teams were level on points, but Germany's superior goal difference meant that Julian Nagelsmann's side, which featured Liverpool star Wirtz from the start, only needed to avoid defeat to secure top spot in Group A. Irrespective of the permutations, it was a nervy build-up to the game in Leipzig, as Germans considered the possibility of their country failing to automatically qualify for a World Cup for the first time ever. Thankfully for Die Mannschaft, the game was virtually over by halftime as it held a commanding 4-0 lead courtesy of goals from Nick Woltmade and Serge Gnabry, and a brace from Leroy Sane. Further strikes from substitutes Rydal Baku and Asinawa Drogo in the second half put extra gloss on the victory, but it was the performance of Wirtz which drew praise from former Premier League goalkeeper Shaka Hislop. Wirtz started the game and provided the assists for both of Sane's goals, picking out the former Manchester City winger with very different, yet equally brilliant, passes from his position on the left side of Germany's team. Florian Wirtz I thought was outstanding, Hislop said in his role as an analyst for ESPN. The player from Leverkusen that Liverpool have been yearning for him to be. Comes into this game, and just dictates so much about Germany's creative play. Those passes from midfield, the runs from the left-hand side, this was Florian Wirtz at his comfortable best. A lot of times when you're with your club and struggling, international duty is a welcome departure, when you can go and be among players that you know and feel a whole lot relaxed. Regarding this game, I'm not sure how relaxed everyone could be, considering what was at stake for Germany, but once they got the opening goal, everybody just seemed to settle down. I thought Wirtz was unplayable, certainly unreadable, in terms of his passing from deep, or getting on the ball. That's the Florian Wirtz that everybody has been yearning for. Wirtz and Germany will discover more about who they will face in the World Cup when the draw takes place in Washington on December 5. Pep Guardiola already made Antoine Semenyo feelings clear after Liverpool transfer links. Speculation surrounding the future of Antoine Semenyo is intensifying ahead of the January transfer window after it emerged that there is a buyout clause in his Bournemouth contract, which could see him make a mid-season move to a new club. Semenyo only signed a new contract in July, but in order to convince the player to do that, Bournemouth agreed to include a release clause in the deal. Bournemouth hopes to keep hold of Semenyo until the end of the campaign, but the Cherries may be powerless to do so if a top club comes in and triggers his £65 million, $86 million, release clause. Semenyo has only boosted his reputation since signing that new deal, having registered 6 goals and 3 assists in the league since the start of the season. The release clause in Semenyo's contract must be triggered by a specific date in January, in order to give Bournemouth adequate time to source a replacement for the 25-year-old before the window closes. The Athletic reports that the release clause will also apply during next summer's transfer window, but at that point, the figure will be reduced to a smaller amount. Pep Guardiola gave his view on Semenyo earlier this month ahead of a game between Manchester City and Bournemouth. "He is an extraordinary player," Guardiola said. "It is not just this season. The way Bournemouth play suits him perfectly." The summer departure of Luis Diaz from Liverpool, coupled with a disappointing start to the season from Cody Gakpo, has seen the emergence of links between Semenyo and the Reds. Sky Sports reported on Monday that Liverpool, Manchester City, and Tottenham are all monitoring Semenyo ahead of a possible January swoop for the Ghana international. Tottenham was also interested in Semenyo in the summer, as was Manchester United, but both clubs ended up signing different attacking players. Speaking earlier this month, Semenyo said that he was happy to have taken the decision to extend his contract with Bournemouth after being asked about speculation surrounding his future. "I don't think about it too much," Semenyo said of transfer links. "I try to stay present as much as I can. You see the news all the time, I see it as well, I'm not oblivious, but I try to keep focused. I'm enjoying my football here. If I'm not scoring goals, all of that goes away. I try to stay present, do the best I can for the team, score goals, and whatever happens in the future happens." Bournemouth sold a host of first-team players in the summer, as Milos Kerkez, Dean Huijsen, Ilya Zabarnyi, and Dango Ouattara all moved on, but Semenyo chose to stay. When they, his former teammates, all left, in the summer, there was a lot of interest and back and forth with the club, Semenyo recalled. "But I knew in my head that the manager's got something up his sleeve this year. How we finished off the season last year was so good and we could continue, especially with the players we've bought in as well. I wasn't too sure at the start, but we've kicked on like a house on fire. I'm glad I committed to staying here because I'm enjoying every moment.